My name is Duddy, Settle Builds and Stuff. I've got an Icebreaker build today for you, but it's going to be on our Prismatic Hunter. I want to be taking full advantage of the ignitions and the freezing effect from Stasis that will proc the ignitions infinitely with Silencer Squall and Duskfield Grenade. What I really wanted to do in this video is take full advantage of the freezing and ignitions that the Icebreaker does. You can basically ignite anything what's frozen with a body shot or a headshot, so I really want to take advantage of that. And the Duskfield Grenade and the Silencer Squall will literally give us almost infinite uptime on freezing things with an exotic class item in the mix as well. Infinite Silencer Squall, infinite ignitions, stay with me. We'll start off with the exotic sniper rifle, the Icebreaker. No backpack, final blows or assists with any other weapon or ability. Have a chance to create ammo for Icebreaker. Defeated powerful combatants will create multiple rounds. It's got the exotic trait on there, Icebreaker. Defeating a target with this weapon causes them to explode. Precision final blows or shattering a frozen target instead triggers an ignition. But it actually triggers an ignition on anything that is frozen. So you freeze something and it will just cause ignitions anytime you want. Headshot, body shot, whatever you want. And then obviously on top of that, the Icebreaker itself will cause ignitions on precision of final blows, just like so. Infinite ignitions, which is absolutely wonderful for a hunter. Now, Duskfield Grenade. This grenade, we all know what it does. It applies slow and it will freeze over time. This is an excellent choice of grenade for this particular build. And Silencer Squall. This super is not the best for damage, but it's extremely useful for this particular build, because this will just infinitely slow and freeze things, and it also buffs your teammates as well, which we'll go into a bit more towards the end of the video. So we're going to throw the Silencer Squall or the Duskfield Grenade and literal infinite ignitions. Now this is where the class item comes into play, because what I wanted to do was get maximum uptime on that super, and look at that super, I've got half of my super back. I'm of course talking about the exotic class item Spirit of Galanor. Hits and final blows with your super will return super energy after it ends. This is absolutely wonderful with a Silencer Squall. You can literally get half of your super back every single time you throw it. So you've got infinite uptime pretty much between that and your Duskfield Grenade for a start. Just being able to infinitely freeze things, which obviously increases your damage of the Icebreaker, because you're going to get the headshot damage plus the ignition damage, and anything around that target is just going to go pop as well. So you'll see again how much super energy you get back. This is just one target. The longer it stays on targets, the more super energy you get. Really nice. Hailfire Spike. While you're in your Prismatic, you can also use this. This also applies Stasis and Solar. Now this will freeze. It's not as consistent as the Duskfield Grenade for freezing, but it does plenty of damage, but it does actually freeze as well at times. So you've got your Duskfield Grenade, your Prismatic Grenade, your Hailfire Spike, and your Silencer Squall to infinitely freeze things. That's one grenade, Duskfield Grenade. You've got your Hailfire Spike Grenade, that's two grenades. We're also going to be featuring Gunpowder Gamble as well for even more ignitions, so 3 grenades. Now I'm specifically mentioning the grenades because you've obviously seen the Galanor part of the class item. The other part of the class item is Spirit of the cyrtachnes. This will give you woven mail every time you throw one of them grenades. 40% damage reduction, and this is a really nice damage reduction, just pretty much on tap. You've obviously there you got your Gunpowder Gamble, which causes ignitions. You've got your Duskfield Grenade, which I already said, plus your Prismatic Grenade, and you'll always have woven mail up. And woven mail is still extremely useful. And I believe the Hunter's the only actual one on Prismatic that can get it for 10 seconds, I think. So just really nice little bonus. Was getting the checkpoint for the quest for this particular one, so I took advantage and showed you a quick clip. But a quick rundown before I get more into the build and show you it all working together. Freezing, infinite ignitions, like I said, you've got your grenades there, your Duskfield and your Hailfire Spike to freeze, and then your Gunpowder Gamble, and all 3 of them, while you're freezing, are going to give you pretty much infinite woven mail, as long as the infinite freezing. Really strong. Now Stylish Executioner is just a good aspect to run. Every time you kill someone that's frozen, scorched, whatever, you're going to become invisible. And then Gunpowder Gamble fits really nicely with the Icebreaker, because you're going to charge up this left, right and centre anytime you want, and this will also get you kills for your ammo, for your Icebreaker as well. So everything working together. Not only have you got all that infinite freezing and stuff going on, you've also got infinite ignitions with your gunpowder gamble as well, and the whole build just feels super fun. And again, you'll just see there, I don't talk about it too much, but I'm just throwing grenades and smoke bombs for Radiant, and all my grenades are just giving me that woven mail. Infinite ignitions, absolutely crazy. Infinite woven mail. Now, where it really shines, this particular build, obviously for like trash ads, it's probably going to kill them, the silencer squall. But the tankier the target, the better this build is, because you're going to get more hits on your silencer squall, and then that tanky target will cause them ignitions to spread to anything nearby. And like I said, it does up the damage of an Icebreaker by quite a lot, because you get the headshot damage and the ignition damage. So it all round boosts your Icebreaker damage. So for situations like this, you can just infinitely freeze this annoying Scorn guy, slow and freeze him all the time, which will give your teammates a buff as well, which we're going to go into now with the seasonal artifact perks. There's some really nice ones that buff this build out. We'll start off with Brain Freeze. Frozen combatants become surrounded by a chilling fog, which slows combatants that aren't already. Weapons with a dark effort origin trait deal more damage to frozen combatants. So if you got one of them weapons lying about, it's just an added bonus. Concussive reload, using a grenade launcher to to damage your boss. Damage a champion or break a shield is going to weaken them, so you can add that to the build as well. And then Conductive Cosmic Crystal, your arc abilities and void abilities and weapons with the dark effort origin trait do a bonus damage that are affected by a stasis debuff. And then you can boost it to increase bonus damage to combatants by affected by a stasis debuff. Now this actually works for your teammates as well. So, like, not only are you getting everything you've seen, the woven mail, and I keep banging about the ignitions and stuff like that, you're actually boosting your teammates as well with a concussive reload. You're putting a debuff on there, and you're going to be able to let your teammates take advantage of that conductive crystal debuff as well. Now if they're running like an arc thunder crash or an overbomb, something like that, you're infinitely going to be able to buff your teammates out as well. So it's just an all-round excellent build for Icebreaker and for your teammates, and you literally can get your super back all of the time with this. It's really good in between damage phases. You don't have to worry about getting your super back, because you're going to get half your super back with a Galanor. And again, you've always going to have that gunpowder gamble in your back pocket for extra damage as well. Plus all the woven mail that I've already mentioned about, and you just freeze things and just pick the targets off. I've tried it in various different encounters, and obviously it really shines for like your teammates in this encounter, because you can apply that stasis debuff for your teammates, throw your grenade, get your woven mail going, and your teammates are going to do even more damage with their arc and void supers. And again, upping that damage of the Icebreaker. I'm not about to tell you it makes Icebreaker absolutely meta, but all round it is a very nice build, and it's extremely helpful for your teammates. I was hitting like between 80 and 90k, plus the ignitions on on the Corrupted Puppeteer. So it's not bad, it's pretty decent, but all round it just feels like an absolutely fantastic build. And if you really want to take advantage of the ignitions and Icebreaker and get a bit of extra damage, I don't really see anything else better than this for consistent freezing. I know Osmiomancy gloves are good, but I think just having the infinite silent squall and how consistent this slows and freezes, it's just really good. Now what I'm going to do is quickly go over my fragments and aspects. We've already gone over the aspects. Gunpowder gamble, we all know what that does. It works really nicely with this Icebreaker. I've already touched on Starless Executioner. This just adds to the survivability of the build. You're going to be in and out of invisibility. Duskfield grenade, which were featured, this slows and freezes. That with a silence and squall on its own is pretty good. Pretty solid for causing your ignitions and Icebreaker. Now snare bomb is another one I haven't talked about too much. This applies weakening as well, so you can bang that on and give your teammates a 15% and yourself damage increase as well, the weakening. Facet of protection, while surrounded by combatants you are more resistant to incoming damage. That with a woven mail is crazy. Facet of dawn, every time you throw your smoke bomb you're going to get a 25% radiance as well, plus the 15% weakening. Facet of Ruin increases the size and the damage in the burst when you shatter a stasis crystal. A frozen target, it also increases ignitions. Facet of Courage, your arc, solar and void abilities do increase damage to targets afflicted with a darkness debuff. Stick your gunpowder on, your gunpowder gamble on a target while your stasis is on. And then Facet of Solitude, landed rapid precision final blows, final hits will apply Sever, so you can reduce your damage from the target by 40% as well. So that's the build. Let me know what you think. Again, just really solid. I found it really fun, really good for your teammates. And if you really enjoy using Icebreaker like me at the moment, I'm well into it. This build really does get the best out of Icebreaker in my opinion. So that pretty much wraps up the video. I'll leave a build card from my friend over on Twitter, Mr. Slayer God. Mods, all I really did was just build it into solo weapon surges. Reserves don't work with Icebreaker, in case you didn't know, so reserve mods on your chest piece don't work on Icebreaker. So, yep, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. All the best.